So here we are, ready to sketch again together. And it's wonderful that you are here sketching with me. So, just 1 second, so that you don't wonder why I'm always looking down here, because here is my computer and it helps me to double check if everything is fine. But David, you are here, so this is clearly a good sign that it's working. Hi Janet. It's wonderful that you're joining me today, sketching together the dancer. So hi Beate. The invitations still don't work on Facebook, so I can... Oh, I did not write an invitation in the messenger. Well, I think you get a reminder for our live, because yeah, I cannot really invite you at the moment. Facebook is not allowing me to do this, but let's have a look if this is changing. So the comments are not visible here, but I can see that you're all entering and writing. Hi Ulla and Liselotte, Marilyn, Loretta, Diane, Ursula. That's wonderful. Hi Janet. Hi Beate, Elizabeth, and Dawn, Sue. Hi. So it's really a joy to read your comments and to see that you're all here. It's always wonderful to sketch together on Tuesday, and I'm happy we can do this with a special topic tonight as well. So you know already that in Austria it's not kind of usual to write those Valentine's Day cards. So for me it's more a playful way to approach this topic, and that's why I'm suggesting you to draw a dancer together. So as I know that it is quite usual in some countries where you are living, right? So we are just doing this dance, and you can use the card however you want, and for sure it would be wonderful if it is sent to someone special. I can do this as well with this card, but let's dive directly into our dancer sketch. I think it's been a while that we have sketched dancers together, so we'll do this step by step. I'm going to start with a pencil, and I'm going to switch the phone right directly. And how Petra, hi, so great that you're joining me here too. So what we are doing now is I'm just preparing the scene here. I'm not using a lot of material, because the easier it is to prepare, the quicker we can really do the cards, which helps me personally to really do those cards, because when it starts to be very complicated with the preparation, it kind of prevents me from starting right away. So what I have here is the palette, this beautiful color palette, handmade by Elizabeth. And I have my sketchbook here. This is the card that I have sketched. So we're going to work also with these brush markers. I'm using this one, but you can use any color you want. But you know, I love splashes. That's why I'm using it, an ink pen and a pencil. And here you can draw on a small card if you want, but here I'm going to draw it in a bigger size, so that you can better see the shape of the dancer. So that's why for me it's not really a card size like this one, but I decided to draw it a bit bigger, so it's simply easier for you to see what I'm doing here. And that's why I'm also going to draw with bolder lines here too. So when I'm making a draft with the pencil, I'm drawing with bolder lines so that you can see it, but you can really use a very fine line here too. So we have the ellipse for the head, we have the trapeze for her upper body, and you see it is really a wonderful balance here, a good position to really stay stable. So we will pay attention to really draw the hip also at this, on this line here, to really keep her standing straight and not falling to one side. So that's why when I'm drawing here now this leg, I really pay attention to draw it towards this line in the middle, the balance line, so that she really has a stable position here. And when I have here the leg, we will draw the leg in this case, so it will be visible. That's why I'm going to draw it a bit more with more volume to indicate the muscles, but we can do this later on with the ink pen too. And the same also for her toes. She's standing on tiptoes, so we exaggerate this here. It's really something that you can exaggerate extremely. So we are kind of getting extremer than the usual proportions. What I'm doing here first with the pencil is to draw this shape for the other leg, to just estimate that we have approximately a similar length. And then we have also the toes here too, so we keep an eye on the fact that the leg needs to be a bit longer, so that we also have the toes here towards the calf muscle. And yeah, that's it. So I would leave the rough pencil sketch for the legs this way. And then we have at the height of her head, we have the elbows, and I'm drawing them intentionally with the pencil first because we want to have this heart-shaped arms. So we need to squeeze them a little to really have this heart shape. So when I'm drawing the arm on both sides, I'm kind of using the hands to really close this circle. And again, this line in the middle helps me to keep this feeling of balance, to really know where we have the middle area. So it's kind of, well, we're squeezing. That's why I'm not paying too much attention to the perfect body proportions here. It's more to have this heart shape, which is more important in our case now. So I'm kind of adapting the shape of the arms this way. And her dress, well, we will use the ink pen to draw her dress. So I think I will instantly switch to the ink pen because it is simply more fun to draw with the ink because we cannot erase it, which kind of, yeah, helps us to loosen up a bit because there's no way back. So the pencil traces help us to have an anchor, how to draw and how to stabilize and balance the dancer. But now it's more about the entire posture. So I'm indicating her hairstyle a little bit, and it is often helpful to draw this bun, this hair bun, because it is simply easier visible because it's a frontal perspective. So these kind of hairstyles are quicker visible from the frontal perspective. And we will draw her a dress. So this indicates already her body. We do not need to draw a lot more for the shape of her body as soon as we have the shape of the dress here. Same for the arm. We have a bit more this arm heart-shaped. So we try to draw them a bit rounder than usual. Here also for the lower area of the arms. So I would really approach here a very playful approach and to be not too strict here with the exact proportions, because this simply prevents from, well, assuming this heart shape. And the same also for the legs, for sure, they are kind of exaggerated, so I would more focus on the pose and less on the perfect proportions. So I'm really exaggerating, for example, the toes here with very fine lines. So you can experiment here as well and get a bit freer, get a bit away from the detailed body proportions, the usual ones. So tiptoes on both sides, on both toes here, on both legs are very pointed. And for sure, as it is really a special pose, I can underline it with a cast shadow here too. only holding her entire body on these tiny little toes, but well, it doesn't have to be realistic. And for the dress as well, we can be really very rough, very wild, because she's moving, so the dress can really indicate this movement too. You can be super rough here. So no needs to really control the lines here, because they are not predefined and no perfect lines here. You can really do whatever you want. And maybe we can already draw some hearts with ink, as we already have the ink pen in our hand. We can do this here also with ink, if you want. So it's really kind of a suggestion, and you do what you feel that you want to do. I'm removing a bit the pencil traces here, so that she is better visible with the ink outlines. And now it is time for the water. So we have one brush pen here. I'm going to work with only one brush pen, and with the brush and water. So this is my mix that I'm going to need here now. And as I'm going to work with splashes, and I want to be a bit blurry, I'm really working wet in wet and quite quickly. So maybe I start with the dress with the brighter pink here, just to draw it before we add the splashes. So this is the dress, and we can add a bit more the darker color to it already. And now for the dress, for example, we can already work with water, so that it is blurry and kind of blending without really controlling it. That's exactly what we need for the dress. We do not want the exact control here. So when you start with the water, this helps to bring dynamic into it and more unintentional strokes. And for the background, we stay a bit brighter. So I would really use only a bit of the pink, or maybe use. I am back here. Hopefully you can see me. So, oh, I just see Leslie, you're here too, Pamela, Anne. That's wonderful. And Ulla, I'm happy you like the idea. So, what happened? I think the connection was cut because I got a phone call. And yeah, hopefully you could continue painting in the meanwhile. We did already the most important part of the dancer. So yeah, you could have already had all the information you need from my side to continue the painting process. I could not influence that, but honestly said, I didn't know what will happen. So maybe you have had still a connection, maybe not, I don't know. Well, but it was a phone call, so just to tell you. And I'm glad you are back. And Leslie, I'm happy you enjoy it. Lots of fun is writing. That's wonderful. I love drawing dancers a lot as well. So I just thought it's the perfect occasion to really work with a dancer and water splashes for Valentine's Day. And I'm now adding these splashes here. So just a bit of background color here, very roughly. And now the splashes to finalize the drawing. So just working with one color and putting this away, because splashes are always kind of hard to control. So everything is a bit splashy afterwards, even my desk here. So, but that's exactly what these splashes are for, kind of uncontrolled. And yeah, so this is the sketch. If you want, you can even add some hearts this way with the brush to make it a bit more subtle. To just add some of those shapes here, a little bit. But I think you need a very fine brush to do this, with a fine dip. This is the brush that I bought during my holidays in France. So it's a handmade brush with a super fine tip. So if you do not have one with a fine tip, I think it's perfect as well if you work with a pencil, for example, a colored pencil in red, or just leave it with the ink hearts. So this is our dancer. Mine is a bit bigger, but if you want it for a greeting card, you can really draw her smaller too. But in this case, it was simply easier for you to see what I'm doing and to follow my step-by-step process for the dancer. So I will switch now. Margaret, you're able to do so much in such a short time. Amazing. Thanks so much. That's really kind of you to say. I don't want to feel stressed about this. So I just want you to see the maximum, and you can watch the replay and pause it and, for example, draw it later again, step by step, and pause really the video. So that's a good reason also to have a replay. So if you want, there's no stress at all. You can draw it again later on. But you're right, Margaret, I'm kind of used to draw quickly. So it helps when I'm talking, because when I'm talking to you, I'm drawing a bit slower. So the more I talk, the slower I draw. So I should talk more maybe. And Dawn, you make it look so easy. That's wonderful. And it's a wonderful step-by-step process. So you will see it is fun to do. And it is wonderful for your muscle memory to get a feeling for balance and dancers. So Pamela, thank you. Yeah, thanks to you for having sketched with me. And Elizabeth, a dancer again. Yes. Me too. I loved it as well, sketching together with you. And yeah, it's wonderful. Drawing dancers in general is something that I enjoy a lot, and it was fun also seeing all those dancer sketches of Beate these days. She's in a dancer flow state of drawing too. And Jenna, that's wonderful that you like her. Thanks so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing your sketches and how your dancers look like. You can really experiment and invent and just look at the balance of the dancer. And it was fun, Yvonne. Yes, I fully agree with you. I really enjoyed it as well, sketching together with you. And thanks so much. Thanks so much, Ulla, as well. Now I can read the comments here on my phone again. That's wonderful. So thanks to you as well. I'm looking forward to seeing your dancers. Bye.